Yes, again guys, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, where we last left off. Talking to Lilly, I guess, in the cafe. Not really sure if you are on Lily's path yet, but it does seem like it. I don't have a picture to put of Lilly there yet, so I got no fan art of that yet. So, despite making a good pace, it's already nightfall by the time I reach the large iron gate in front of the school. While it's nice to have plenty of time to wander around by virtues of living right next to the school, I can't help but get the feeling that very few students actually take the opportunity. Compared to the number of students I see milling around on campus during free time, it's startlingly rare to see anyone around town. Given the large number of accommodations and facilities that this school offers, many of them might simply not see any point of venturing outside, let alone people such as Hanako and Kenji. It makes me wonder if students like Shizune, Misha, and Lilly are the exception for this school, rather than the norm. As I wander back to my dorm room, I continue to compare my old school with Yamaku. As I do so, I begin to be surprised that I managed to get even this used to everything that's happened to me. I catch. Yeah, skip that. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's Sunday and there's no classes. Bah! There are no classes. Not just the Sunday though, but the festival as well. From my window I can already see some people at the soba booth slinging noodles onto plates for people who are craving for low quality food. I throw back a handful of my morning meds and ponder how to spend the day. There will be a few exams in the coming week, but I don't consider those as ominous as others, so I'm not as worried as them as I probably should be. With no urgent obligation regarding education, I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Finishing my morning routines, I exit the building. I exit into the hallway, intending to go out and find something to eat. Passing by his door, I decide to see what Kenji's up to today, out of impulse. I'm curious if he has any plans, since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can picture him having built a soundproof shelter in his room. Or possibly something like a fort, complete with no girls allowed sign. And with the girls crossed out and body crudely scrawled underneath it. Knocking on his door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling clicking of the last 10 locks being pulled back. The door opens up a crack. Haven't we seen this already? You're supposed to ask that before you open the door. Haven't we done this already? Oh, it's you, damn! It's early. It's not that early. What is it, man? Nothing. I was just gonna ask you what you're gonna do today. Half the school is out there already. Out where? Why? What? What? Is the thing special? Why are they there? Who are? I can hear them. It's loud. Tell me, has the invasion begun? He suddenly looks more alarmed. What day is it, man? Yeah, I guess you can't see the big wooden booths outside and people selling stuff. I feel like we've seen this. Can I do skip? Yes. Them seem quite relaxed as they work. Lily still appears to be somewhat stressed. So this is a new text. Instead of he goes to Hanako's path, now he just stays here. Right, I know what I'll do. Even if it's just one person, I'll make the festival more enjoyable for her. As I place the bowl on the counter, I call out to Lily. He's out. You brought it back? Yeah, here. I slide it into her hands, and she takes it over to someone who is apparently on cleaning duty. Considering that I didn't see them here before, it's probably a penalty for their tardiness. Hey, Lily. She perks up and returns to her counter as she hears my voice again, realizing that I'm still here. Want to go see some more of the festival? She puffs her cheeks disapprovingly. It looks kinda cute, and in complete contradiction in her usually reserved nature. It takes a few seconds for me to get to what she's taking issue with. She's blind, you bitch! It takes a few seconds for me to get what she's taking issue with. Whoops. I didn't mean to. Lily giggles at me, exposing her teasing for what it is. You're still not used to the school, are you? She got me. Still, I kinda need to stay with our stall. It's taken until just now to even get everything unpacked. I guess her reluctance wouldn't overly surprise me, considering how much work she's put into this. Everything seems to be running fine now, though. Besides, you got extra help on hand anyway. A boy in the middle of cooking some soba noodles turned towards us, grinning. Go on, Littles. Go on, Littles. Why is that so hard? Go on, Littles. You earned yourself a break. We can hold down the fort for now. If you say it's okay, then I suppose so. But if you need any help, then we'll call you. Go on, we'll be fine. Lilly finally gives up the resistance as she waves a spatula at her. As he waves a spatula at her, she feels her way around the back of the stall and picks up a cane on the way. I guess the first thing we should do is look for Hanako. Lilly seems kind of worried about her, and I thought she'd be the kind of person to enjoy milling about the crowds like this, all alone. So I guess we should search for Hanako. Where to first? The both of us go quiet for a moment to think. Maybe she's in her dorm? Doubt it. I doubt it. She doesn't keep too many things in there, so she'd have nothing to do. Ah, the library. A good as place as any to search for a bit reader, I suppose. The library it is. We'll check there first then. Aside from the muffled sounds of the crowd seeping in from outside, the inside of the school seems almost deserted. In order to make sure everyone had enough room, I guess all the events were organized to be held outside on school grounds. They're definitely quite large by any other school standards. It's nice and quiet in here, isn't it? I'm sure I'm actually recording microphone. Yes, I am. Yeah, much nicer than the hustle and bustle outside. We take our time and slowly walk through the first floor of the school, eventually reaching the stairs to the second floor. I can't help but notice how Lilly anticipates every door and obstacle, her cane remaining still in her hands, skating along the hallway railings. You really know the school well, don't you? She smiles and nods straight ahead. I've been here for a few years now, so I know where everything is. The dorms still trip me up. The dorms still trip me up though. Sometimes I haven't been there so long and they're not as well laid out as the main building. If I'm remembering right, they used to be unused building before being renovated and used as dormitories. That explains why the male and female dorms look different from the outside, and why their rooms seem kind of unusual for sleeping quarters. I assume she'd be living in the dormitories since she began attending the school. But now I'm reminded of what she said yesterday. That's right, you mentioned that before. I assumed that most of the students here lived in the dormitories once they enrolled. A lot of them seem to, in any case. Lily's expressions become somewhat harder to read, my questioning eventually touching on a delicate point. Well, how should I say? Everyone has their reasons. Something tells me that one of those with reasons is Hanako, hence her tiptoeing around the answer. My own predicament is yet another such case. I guess it's a choice everyone here would have to make for themselves, or in my case, have made for them. It can't be helped, I suppose. At least Yamaku itself seems like a nice place. It's good to hear you say that. I thought you were coming to dislike it. What about you, though? My reversal of Lily's statement takes her by surprise. I've been here for a while, so... It's not that. You just seem pretty depressed about Akira. What's with that look? Akira's taken. Sorry, Hisao. Lilly never sees how fast my palm meets my face as her sly accusation. Hey, I was worried about you. That's no way to respond to concern. While she gives an amused grin, we round the corner of the halfway and into the library. And there she is. As we do so, it isn't hard to spot Hanako considering the room is completely devoid of anyone else. Given that there is no staff around, I guess there's no need to heed the usual library rules. I call out to her. Hey, Hanako! Hanako is here? As she hears our voices, Hanako flicks up from behind a book, probably the same one she'd be reading on Friday. Hisao? Lilly? Just thought we'd drop by. Lilly just managed to escape from the noodle stall with a little help. That wasn't really an escape. Hanako gives a small giggly, briefly surprising both of us. I just thought that Lilly might not be enjoying the festival. Well, now we can enjoy it together, right? The two nod happily before we set out to the library and set out of the library and head towards the festivals. That's kind of cheap. Kinda. Depends how much you get for those, and how big a bowl that is. But it looks kind of standard prices. A little more of standard prices, maybe. I hand over some change to the girl behind the counter and take out the 2 styrofoam cups. Gee, I try to accentuate my bow a bit to cover for the fact that she's quite obviously deaf. Come to think of it, I probably should have asked for help instead of leaving those 2 in the gardens while I brought drinks. Bought drinks? Bought drinks. Bought. By buying, not bringing. Trying to juggle the 2 cups of hot tea for them and a can of coffee for myself out of the vending machine isn't exactly easy. With some careful maneuvering, though, I managed to keep everything stable and upright as I walk over to the bench where Lilly and Hanako are sitting and chatting. It's actually quite a nice place, lit only by moonlight. It's tucked away some distance from the main events. Compared to how hot it has been during the day, this spot is also pleasantly cool by now. Not that it matters all that much. Most of the visitors have moved to areas that are either closer to the fireworks or higher on the hill in order to view the display apparently planned. Welcome back, Hisao. Her ears are good. I'm not exactly close to even Hanako hadn't noticed me. Here you go. Sorry it's instant, but it's all they had left by now. Hanako gingerly takes a cup from my right hand and I gently place the other into Lily's outstretched hands. Did you enjoy the festival then, Hisao? Yeah, it was pretty fun. An honest answer. Much of the food had been somewhat subpar, but it was a lot of fun in the end, especially with Hanako and Lilly. In fact, I think those 2 may have enjoyed themselves even more than I did. With both Lilly and I around, much of Hanako's withdrawn nature around others died down even enough for her to enjoy herself. Hey, fireworks. As we sit drinking, the whistle of the first fireworks ring up before they explode into the vibrant shower of blue against the night sky, heralding the beginning of the end of the festival. Fireworks. Fireworks. Pretty good. Enthusiastic shouts can be heard from the crowd scattered around the school grounds, celebrating them. For minutes on end, I watch the fireworks overhead as Lily blissfully listens to them with her eyes shut. Red, green, yellow starships, circular and pattern and all manner of shapes and colors fill up the air, one after the other, and dance across the sky. No place near where I live put on such lavish displays. Festivals like this were a thing of the past in such a metropolitan area. To be seeing such a sighting with these 2, it's probably the happiest I've been in a long while. So that's it. The festival's finally ending. Yeah. She gives a delicate, wistful sigh. As much as I might complain about all the stuff we have to do, it's still sad that we'll have graduated before the next Yamako festival. I walk forward and stand beside Lily, resting a hand on her shoulder. Don't worry! We still have Tanabata later in the year, right? You're right. It would be nice to go there when it comes. Minutes of silence pass, with only the blast of the fireworks to be heard. This too reminds me of those words of advice Lily had given me as we walked into town together. Cherish the opportunity to make new friends, huh? Hey, Lily. She turns her head slightly to show that she's listening. Hanako's gaze still firmly fixed on the technicolor fireworks bursting overhead. You mind if I join you 2 for tea every now and then? And again, bah. The smile on her face is more than enough to see her answer. It would be a pleasure, Hisao. It would be a pleasure, Hisao. Yay. Oh shit. She's holding on to his arm. That's cute in some ways. Well, he's cute, actually. Was she fantasizing or what? Past. Ooh. I'm quite intrigued. Now we're seeing that picture. I'm quite interested what her past is. So I guess this is the confirmation that we are on Lily's path now. So I need a picture there. I don't have a picture there to put there. I wake up into the annoying din of my alarm clock. It's bright red numerals lighting up my face. It's the same alarm clock I had at home. One of the few remaining artifacts that from my days before coming to Yamaku. I hoped that using it would help ease my transition into this new life. No such luck though. Groggily dragging myself out of bed, I wiped the sleep out of my eyes, then reached over to my desk. I opened a couple of the bottles of medication strewn across it and swallowed a few pills dry. By now the process is starting to become automatic. Something I should be glad for, given their purpose. Feeling much more awake than before, I wandered into the bathroom. While the shower warms up, my mind begins to wander as my new daily routine begins once again. The bright colors of fireworks fill my mind as I view the two girls with whom I spend my time watching them. It feels strange to be moved so much by people I know so little about. Then again, I suppose these aren't normal circumstances. At least I have someone to talk to, now, aside from my schoolmate next door, Kenji! With the time before school begins today waning, I begin to get ready for class. Walking through the door into the classroom, I notice that I'm still somewhat early. I see about 5 or 6 students milling around, most of them looking as they'd rather than still be in bed. It's a time like this that I appreciate being a morning person. That said, 2 students in particular just seem to as prig as always. As you know, I'm not a morning person. Not anymore at least, with my job and all. I sleep late, I wake up very late. Hi Shizune, I'm Isha. I suddenly realized that my greeting would be lost on the former, so I quickly follow up with a wave. She doesn't seem overly bothered, or interested for that matter. Hello Hichan, are you feeling well? I can only assume her greeting comes from Shizune. It's hard to tell if she's speaking as herself or Shizune sometimes. Better than most everyone else, I guess. You two seem bright and chipper. Misha signs this back to Shizune as I say it, eliciting a somewhat terse answer, if her sharp and rapid arm movements are any indication. Considering that these two made such a big deal out of the festival preparation, I probably should have chosen my words more carefully. Since you're a new student, we've been cutting you some slack. Please don't expect this kind of task dodging to be allowed in the future. Misha looks as she's about to add her own comment, but quickly goes back to interpreting as Shizune continues unbated. While your contribution to Class 3 too is appreciated, huh? Watch your gut around quickly. That or these two have their fingers on the pulse of the school. We would prefer your efforts to be focused on the task at hand, namely your own class. As much as I hate to admit it, they do have a point. Before I can respond though, she's gonna add something more which draws a smile from Misha. Did you enjoy the festival then? Lecture over, I guess. Yeah, it was good. Did you two enjoy it? Shizune gives a short nod as Michi grins and bounces her head up and down the contrast side by side. It's amusing. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed more students starting to trickle into the classroom. A quick glance at my watch confirms that they're here a few minutes late. Oh, she's smiling. I look over to Hanako's seat and realize she's already there, and contentedly reading a book. It makes me wonder just how long she's been there without me noticing. With heavy footsteps coming up the hallway signaling Muto's arrival, our idle talking comes to an end and I take my seat next to Misha. As the door slides open, he strides with a ponderous gait. His posture is even worse than usual, and his eyes are barely staying open. I guess my quip to Lilly and Hanako about the staff was misplaced. Everyone opens their books as he reaches his desk. The first class of the new week begins. I rub my eyes as the lunch bell rings out, glad for the temporary reprieve from work. I'm entirely unsurprised when I look over to the door and see Lily standing there, cane in hand, patiently waiting for Hanako. Considering her acceptance of my request to join them yesterday, I decided to spend my lunchtime with them rather than eat alone. Hanako moves surprisingly fast to meet her companion, and the two enter the hallway before I can catch up. Surprised face! Lily's head turns slightly, registering the sound of footsteps behind her. As Hanako notices and follows her lead, She almost jumps in surprise. Isao? I mean, hello, Isao. Hi, sorry I startled you. Lilly turns to greet me, held in an orientation by Hanako. Good afternoon, Isao. Are you joining us? If it's no trouble, there's not much else to do, really. Lilly gives a small nod, as if to silently brush away any idea that it would be troubling in the latest. We descend in one set of stairs and walk down the hallway to the usual room. Our pace somewhat quicker than usual thanks to Lilly using Hanako for direction, rather than her cane and derailings. As expected, it's deserted. The sound of the other clubs can only barely be heard as sunlight streams into the room from outside. Looking around the room, I notice a couple of empty easels propped up against the wall that I don't think were there before. The other club must have used this room as extra storage. Should I get the chest shut out? Hanako's voice seemed less tense when she's directly addressing Lilly. Yes, I'll make tea while you sort the pieces. I can do that for you if you like. She ponders the offer for a moment before smiling, confirming that I've made the right choice. Her face is remarkably easy to read. Very well, thank you. What did she do? She slides her retracted cane into the handle of her bag and sets it against one of the table legs, before taking a seat opposite Hanako. I see. As I prepare tea for the three of us, I can hear the small wooden pieces being set on the board. I wonder how good Lilly is at chess, given her circumstances. By the time I place the streaming teacups onto the table, Lilly and Hanako have already moved their first pieces as they nibble on sandwiches and rice balls from their respective bags. I note that the chessboard they are using has a hole in the middle of each square and pegs at the bottom of the pieces. What? Has each dark square slightly raised. What? Oh, so she can feel it. Okay. Watching Lilly's fingers skating over the board, tracing out the position of the pieces, makes me marvel at the simple ingenuity of the design. It must be specifically made for blind players. Here you go. Hanako gives a small nod as I put down the cup next to her of the side of the board. Lilly's hand ventures sideways slightly, so I gently place the cup touching the tips of her fingers, a gesture she seems to appreciate. I finally take a seat and silently sip my tea as the two play. The contrast in their appearances while playing is interesting to watch. No wait, I'll use that next time. I gotta end here, guys. Hope you enjoyed this long. I think I made this part very long. Oh, hope you enjoyed and look forward to next part whenever that will be. I know I'm pretty slow on this play, but I still enjoy it. So here, have a high five.